been a resident of Boise, Idaho for over 800 years. I just don't get why this always happens to me every single time.
Oh, come on, guys. You get it. You get it, right?
Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast with the three of us here. Last time, for a couple weeks going forward, this is going to be our opportunity to catch up on things, throw some stuff out there, what we're doing over the next couple of weeks, because we won't be able to have the show for the next week or two. So I want to make sure we make this a good one.
Yeah.
True. Anyway, that's Levi Gates.
Hey, guys.
You saw that. And that's Anthony Fisher.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dane.
Dane Hennon. So we got all the bases covered, and there's some stuff in front of me here that's just sort of appeared.
So these are just a little bit of part of the housekeeping. Obviously, the sale launched yesterday, and hopefully folks got their hands on that Eagle blanket. Augie was so excited. Augie was at home this last night, and he was wrapping up his cat Sherlock in a burrito inside the Eagle blanket.
Yeah,
the cat was enjoying it very much so. So
good. Okay.
But I was going to say, pick up your Eagle blankets. 20% off site wide.
Nope.
20% off some things.
Nope. All right,
Anthony's going to clear it up. He's
to
going to get it right.
50% off
ceramic coatings and accessories for ceramic coating. So we have 20% off all G-Technic, and then we have up to 50% off Diamond Protect products. So
and 40% off TRC coatings.
If we go ahead and click on that page there, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the sale items here.
I love the embroidered design that went with this.
So,
it looks so cool.
Looks really good.
Of course, we have EXO on sale, CSL on sale, all of the G-Technic maintenance line, as well as the other G-Technic coatings, such as their wheel coating, trim coating, C1, crystal lacquer, matte dash. We have pretty much the whole line up there from G-Technic at 20% off. A fantastic deal and something to get the year started, as many of us are going to be coating our cars here come springtime. So if we scroll down a little bit further here, actually go to the next page.
Sheer coincidence that this stuff's all red for Valentine's Day.
Let me go to the...
There we go.
We're on the next page. Okay, keep going down. Nick, here we go. This is what I'm looking for.
Go.
So our TRC accessories include our ultra applicators, our ultra no soak applicators, as well as our pearl pucks, and then we have our new detailing applicators as well, and then we have our orange pearl applicators. So this is going to cover all application needs, but we're also going to throw in our pearl towels that are going to allow a perfect wipe off of all your different coatings that you're going to be installing. So one of the best deals, though, is hands down all of the Diamond Protect kits. I mean, these are an incredible value for what you're getting. So basically up to 50% off.
Diamonds and pearls for Valentine's Day. We're doing.
Love it. So up to 50% off these kits. So Diamond Body 36, definitely something you want to grab. The Diamond Maintenance Kit, of course. Diamond Wheel Coating Kit. You want all these.
Yeah. They're great. They're awesome to have. Awesome to be able to use. And then, of course, there's the sweet new sticker.
Yep.
You can pick up the limited edition Valentine's Day sticker that you can pick up, and the Eagle blanket.
It has this really kind of cool Mr. Rogers knitted look. And so the Eagle blanket is is a limited run. I mean, we literally only have I want to say it was 50 that we actually have for sale on the website.
Wow, and here I thought we maybe had like 100 or so.
No, Dane, it's a limited
not
drop.
Even that. Well, 100 would still be very limited.
We wanted to hit the
you
interwebs.
really limited it. Wow.
Yeah. No, this is it's a very limited amount. I don't know how many are sold out of this as of this point right now, but I would imagine we're probably well under 25 at this point. I want to say we sold about 25 of these yesterday. And this is a full-size blanket, so you can use it on your bed, you can use it on your head, you can use it. I need to know anything.
Put it on your head. Why would you put it on your head?
I'm just saying you could use it
like a pillow.
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty of it is it's big enough.
You can throw it on your blanket. You can throw it on your bed. You can put it on the couch.
On the couch. That's really where it's going to be most at home. Will it replace the comforter on your bed? I'm not so sure it's going to fully replace the comforter on your bed, but I will say from experience, Eagle blankets, Levi's right. They run hot.
They are very hot.
Real hot. And remember, at the end of the day, it is an Eagle Edgeless 500. So if you spill water on it or anything, it'll lap that up.
Yeah.
It'll soak it up. It's not
70-30
like
blend.
the microfiber blankets you see at the store or other places where they're just polyesters. This has polyamide in it, and a lot of it. So it, if you happen to have an industrial-sized spill in your home, maybe the Eagle blanket can save that. But that would be a very
That's a poor use for that towel.
use for that towel. I'm
Snuggle
just saying
up
it's
with it.
possible. It's possible.
All right. So we got that going on. So I was down at Mobile Tech Expo this week.
Yeah.
And some fans of the show
Yes.
gave us some treats.
Ooh, I like that.
So they stopped by, and Frank and DJ, and they brought us some Smarties last year at SEMA.
Yeah.
And so they re-upped, brought a pack of Smarties.
These are the Smarties that are more like actually M&Ms, right?
Yes.
Where they're
And
like
then
foreign Smarties.
They brought this coffee cup filled with more chocolates.
Oh, delicious treats
Jeez.
from around the world.
and
Actually, I don't know where these are from.
a Toronto, Canada shot glass, and a Toronto, Canada church key,
Holy
Okay.
cow.
and a Toronto, Canada coffee mug. So
That is just too
I
fun.
appreciate it. Thank you guys
Yeah, nice
for bringing
shot.
that to us. Very nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Very
that's
sweet.
great.
And then,
Yeah, what's all this?
so Riggs 920,
Riggs.
fan of the program, fan of the show,
Yeah, okay.
said he noticed over my shoulder here that there was let me put that down, that there's a couple shields back there.
Yes.
We've got a City of LeClaire shield. We've got a cold water firefighter shield.
Yep.
From fans of the show. So he wanted to add his to
Very
the
cool.
backdrop, which we're very
Okay.
honored, Riggs, to have this. He emailed me to
Riggs.
say, I'm sending that our way. This is a Green Bay, Wisconsin police badge.
Sweet.
Oh, that's
dude.
cool looking.
So-
Yeah.
Does it smell like cheese?
I mean, it's yellow.
It smells like a patch to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't have any smell. I think it's because it's a fresh patch.
Is it a scratch and sniff?
Well, it's a fresh patch. It has not been worn by anybody.
No,
Otherwise,
but Anthony,
there
why
would
don't you
be
throw that
probably a
back
faint
up there
hint of
with
BL on it.
up on your side there, since I've got two over here.
There we go.
All right.
It'll stay. All right, we'll come up with a more
awesome.
permanent method going forward, but that'll work for now. That's
Yeah,
good.
thank you, Riggs. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
it,
Yes,
man.
thank you very much. And I was seeing a comment here, excuse me, from Jamie the Cleaner, which I just had to address. He said he got his blanket now. When does the Eaglet blanket drop? Well, I have a hint for you, Jamie. The Eaglet blanket has always been available. It's just called the Eagle 500
Yeah.
or the 350, whichever one you
sorry,
want.
bud.
16 by 16, that's the blanket version of the Eaglet. Go nuts.
Dane,
Knock
too
yourself
funny.
out.
Okay, so some other quick housekeeping things. So me and Dane are going to be gone. We're going to be leaving tomorrow morning to make our way to the what do they call that state? What do they call Florida? It's not the Sunshine State. It's a what do they
It's
call
a Sunshine State.
It is the Sunshine
Is it the
State.
Sunshine State?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes.
So we're off to the Sunshine State.
They literally
the orange-
developed
You're going to
a
the
law
orange,
called the Sunshine Law, if
So-
I'm not mistaken, and that's why you hear all those Florida man stories, because they had to release all of the weird, crazy things that happen there, whereas other states have weird stuff that goes on, but they don't have to report it in the same way.
So ideally, we're going to come back with tans, right? We are going to each one of us have wrestled an alligator of some sort, right?
Gator wrestling.
I want to say that each one of us is also going to potentially climb a palm tree or do something with a palm tree. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
And anything else that people in Florida generally do.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
What do they do?
Drive around in their
Are we-
cars.
Board up a few houses in preparation for a
Yeah.
hurricane or
It's
anything fun like
Not,
that?
not a lot.
Okay.
Now,
I don't know.
All right. So
I think you're just going to have to stay out on the lookout for some gators.
okay.
yeah.
Maybe, go to the beach.
All right.
And
yeah, see ya.
Snakes
that's
crawling up
pretty
through the
much it.
plumbing?
Yeah, maybe try to find a swamp boat.
Daytona Beach, right?
Yeah, there you go. You guys aren't going that far down though.
Okay, maybe we aren't, right? Key West.
You're not going that
That's
far down.
really far.
Okay, maybe
We're not going there.
there either.
I've
But
been there,
anyway,
but we're
I think
not
we're going to have a ton of
going.
fun, but we are going to be gone for obviously this Thursday, so there's going to be, I believe there's going to be a Q&A, but just not with us.
Yeah, no, I talked to Levi yesterday over the phone, but I was kind of giving him the hint that bring on some guests. Let's do a Q&A where you got some buddies maybe beaming in digitally, and
Yeah.
you guys can answer questions. Could be fun.
That'd be great.
I know I had Jamie and Alex last week, but pick your pick your choice. Do whatever you want.
Sounds good.
And then,
anyway, he gets that for the next 2 weeks.
And then on next Tuesday, we'll be gone as well, but I believe we're going to be skipping that main show podcast. But we will be... and then we're also going to be gone for Q&A Thursday as well. So,
yes.
It's going to be kind of a weird next week and a half or so, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to our normal schedule, especially before TRCMA, which is approaching extremely fast. If you haven't marked your calendars, please do. April 1st, right? This is not a joke. This is some serious shiz that's going down. We're going to have our Grand Ambassador of the Year, Showdown winner, Jamie the Cleaner, right? Mm-hmm. Jamie
live
the
and in
Swamp
person.
Creature Cleaner in person for live alligator wrestling. We're bringing the alligators up. He's wrestling them.
I didn't know that was part of the project. This is awesome. I'm very excited to see this.
We actually found if he can beat these alligators that we have essentially found as being the strongest in Florida, then he is the true winner.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Right?
I like that.
I mean, because nobody knows, but Alex Dewar actually had to fight a Mountie, right? Mounted on a moose, which was...
They normally don't ride those.
They normally don't do that. This must have been like a special higher level.
And we only gave him a jar of maple syrup to fight off this Mountie. It was crazy, the whole situation.
I remember that. It was he was one of those. He was telling us when we asked what his plan was. He said, "I'm going to try to do pocket sand, but all I have is maple syrup."
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot harder.
Not exactly easy to pull out of your pocket and go pocket syrup, and it just kind of
But he did say the one that he brought was not the one that he wanted because there's a number of different maple syrups.
Yes,
various viscosities.
Yeah, I understand that. So, anyways, that's what we're kind of looking at for the next week and a half or so. But me and Dane are going to be visiting some other YouTubers, right? So Freddie Tavares, and we're also going to be visiting Matt. Fingers crossed. So this is the funny thing between you guys and us here. This is
let's just say, because this is what happens when we plan a trip. It never goes according to plan.
It's quite funny, actually.
It only happens to them for some reason.
Yeah, we're really good at just inviting chaos.
In December, we started planning this trip, and we concreted.
You started planning in December. The one who said clear back at SEMA, "Hey, Freddie, we should go do something," and I started planning there.
No. Freddie has always been a done deal. That was what I was worried about. But we started planning this trip, and we actually started talking to other folks as well, including Matt over at Obsessed Garage. And we said, "Hey, Matt, we're going to be coming down, and we're going to come visit you and spend some time over at OG, and we're going to get some videos and stuff like that. It's going to be a fun time." He goes, "Awesome, sounds good." And I go, "What's your plan?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to be over at Adam LZ's. I'm going to be fixing up his house, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be done mid-January." I go, "Sweet, that sounds really fun." So then we'll set this up for close to the beginning of February, so just to give us some grace period there, and we will see you then. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll be done by then. I'll be back home by end of January." Well... It is February. It is February 6th, technically. Yeah. And from what I can tell on social media, Matt is still very much over at Adam LZ's house. And I'm looking at the progress of this home. And this home looks like things are painted, but now they're doing electrical stuff and sound and all of that. And I go, so is that going to be done in 3 days? And is Matt going to be back at OG to shoot some content?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're going down there under the assumption that we'll find a way to make this work. I'll tell you what, if the content that comes back is not the content we promised, all I can say is we did our best and you'll get what you get.
True. So I know that there was kind of a talk that, hey, if he's not done, we can always go to Adam LZ's house, right? Which is fine. I know Adam. We've shot videos with Adam before. What I don't want, though, is because everybody's busy, right? Yeah. Everybody's busy nowadays, especially on social media, right? And for the content we need time. We need availability. So if we don't have time and availability, then essentially me and Dane would be giving ourselves a self-guided tour at the LZ compound, and that may not be as fun. So we are hoping Matt is going to be done in time, or just at least takes a trip back home so we can shoot some content with him and hang out while that project is still going on. We have no idea. But we're gonna find out here in like 3 days.
Nice.
Isn't that fun?
It'll be a good time.
I think we've got some fun ideas of
We
stuff
keep
we're going to
things
do here.
nice and spicy.
So one of the things I liked was G. Davis had posted on there about how you guys were going to be doing an appearance at the most popular promiscuous senior resort, and that's actually true.
Oh yeah,
You guys are going to be
That's,
so the hotel you're staying at by Matt's is in the heart of the Villages.
It sure
The
is.
dead center of the Villages.
Yeah.
Don't get run over by a golf cart.
Things that we're excited about, right? We're excited about the all night parties that happen at the Villages, right?
They go till 9.
It's a geriatric event, right?
It's like spring break
a geriatric
till about
spring break.
9:30, but it's all old people.
Yeah. And what I love is they're usually
they're cheering, they're screaming,
they're popping arthritis medicine. You know, they're all sorts of different
Music's
things
going.
just to keep the party going.
They all got Tommy Bahama shirts on. Like it's going to be fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy yourselves. I think just going out one of the nights to wander, just walk out of the hotel and walk that little circle in the center of the Villages. You guys will go like, this is nuts. This is insane. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And because it'd be like downtown Boise at 2:00 in the morning during out in front of the bistro, and Dirty Little Roddy's. But it's
like
all,
the frat crowd, except
but
it's
all old people. It's
about,
not college. It's all old people in the.
Yeah, it's all about 4 times
over
older
60.
than the frat crowd. Yeah,
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which, hey, nothing wrong with enjoying yourself.
And then seeing all the dudes drive drunk on there.
But I'd say 60 doesn't sound too old nowadays.
No, it doesn't.
Though,
Now as
right?
we
I was
knock on
gonna
that
say,
door,
hold up.
You're about 15 years away.
I know.
So,
It's crazy.
so it sounds.
Well, and a lot of our friends, a lot of our
They're in their
fans,
we'll say they're in their
obviously,
80s, 70s to 80s.
Yeah,
But-
that's what you would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole spectrum there, guys.
But no,
see.
it's pretty funny. But anyway, so
Okay.
Alex here with
speaking-
possibly my favorite inside joke.
I'm excited for you
You
guys.
guys to watch the other half.
Yeah,
of the
I
movie.
mean, me too. So, anyways, so we do need to. Speaking of Florida, we need to start jumping into this.
Oh,
So, Levi, tell us about MTE.
So
your
I
weekend.
flew to. I was in Orlando this weekend,
Okay.
and it was okay. No, the show was great. Mobile Tech Expo was awesome this year. Thank you everybody that turned out, came by the booth. I got to see Humberto, met him first from Puerto Rico.
I can't
He was the
believe
first-
it.
He
First
said he
person
showed
I
up
met.
6 a.m. on
He did.
every day.
Yeah, he was. I saw him walking up, and he had on the Friday
see you
the
right
Halloween shirt,
Yeah.
the Jason shirt on, and I was like,
Oh, man,
"There's a guy with a
right
TRC
there.
shirt," and he's like, "Levi, first from Puerto Rico, Humberto," and I was like, "No way."
He's probably the most famous person there. I mean, literally.
Through sheer force of will, he became famous.
I even had to get a picture with
In
him
our
because
circles.
of how famous he is, right?
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to catch him on Wednesday morning at 10:45.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get a
that's
picture
right.
of him. Oh, you did.
So we were able to get
lucky-
you can
you
see
lucky
that
dog.
there.
I was to say it's
Screen's a little
glare,
dirty.
but hey,
But
it
yeah,
exists.
so got to
Congratulations.
see Humberto. That was awesome. And spend some time. So we got there Tuesday night. We flew from Boise to Seattle to Orlando.
Yeah.
Quite
it
a long
always kind
flight.
of sucks flying the wrong direction first for an
Yeah.
hour and then crossing the country. That's always
And
real joy.
I left my house at 3:30 in the morning
Okay.
to get on the plane, and then
We got to do that tomorrow.
yeah. Needless to say, we landed 4:15 or so. We were all tired.
Yeah.
Got our Uber to the airport or to the hotel. Got checked into the hotel. Got up to our rooms. Dropped all our stuff off. Changed clothes or just put on deodorant, washed your face and stuff like that. Then we went to Disney Springs.
Okay.
Got ourselves some dinner at the Edison.
Ooh.
As
and
you
then
do.
went back to the hotel and went to sleep. Next morning, got up early, wandered around the whole property. So
Okay.
we were staying at the Gaylord Palms Resort and Event Center. And this place was all-inclusive
Yeah.
in the sense that it had probably 8 restaurants on the property.
John described it. This place sounded kind of crazy.
It's insane. So you walk into the hotel.
What's it called, first of all?
I just said the Gaylord
One more
Palms.
time. Okay, yeah.
So, walked in, and it was totally huge and had all these, like, you walk in and it was like a atrium, as they called it.
Yeah.
And so all the rooms, the hotel's 6 stories high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside the atrium
Yeah, my favorite
was
style.
a castle
Oh my God.
a castillo in the Spanish style,
What?
a waterfall, a swamp house, like a bayou house
Oh, I love that.
that had a
That's
steak
rad.
that had a steakhouse in
Did
it.
they have any fan boats?
Steakhouse at
No, they had a giant ship in the middle of
So
it.
it's this like theme park quality kind of build?
Yeah, oh
kind
yeah.
of stuff? Oh, that's
and then
rad.
a Italian restaurant, like a villa style
Okay.
restaurant.
Yeah.
And then you walk out, and then it's like a mall. It's like a beautiful mall with shopping. They had a Jamba Juice. They had a little market that you could get food at, and then this 2-story sports bar. And then outside is the pool area, and the pool area had a water park with a number of different things.
Yeah.
So
Was this still indoors?
the whole place,
Oh.
the water park was outdoors.
Okay,
but,
that's what I wanted.
it was just outside, but it had a lazy
Wow.
river. They had a lazy river. We were laughing that John was going to be laying in his lazy river drinking beers all day.
Yeah.
So Wednesday we got up early, walked around, tried to find a place to eat breakfast. We ended up getting some Jamba Juice instead, and tried to find where everything was.
Huh.
So Josh and I, Petro had IDA meetings that whole day.
Yeah.
So we had to get started for that. John found where the MTE classes were going to be held, found where to pick up our badges, and then where the actual trade show was going to be. So it was very spaced out, and it was kind of hard to once we got our bearings at exactly where we were on the property. It made more sense, and we were able to do it.
Not quite Vegas bad though, right? Like in terms of distance from place to place, or is it on a par?
No, it's big. I mean, the place is huge.
Okay,
It's like a Vegas casino.
okay.
Like you walk
I'm just
walk
thinking
a
like
lot.
going from lodging to where you're going to be doing your
Oh
classes.
no,
for
it's
the
all
day.
there. It's a lot. It's a good walk.
Okay.
So
okay.
The whole property, Dane, probably would encompass all of our property, all the way to Carl's Cycle Sales,
Okay.
all the way back to the back of Carl's Cycle Sales,
Wow, that's pretty good.
and maybe the junkyard.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you think in that terms of space, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a lot of space to
Yeah,
walk around.
I'm just trying to compare it to our experience, with
Yeah.
the Westgate and
No,
going to
this
the
is-
halls and
Yeah,
all
it's
that.
bigger than the Westgate. That's what it feels
Wow,
like.
okay.
Um,
Wow.
In that sense. So anyway, and way nicer.
Nice.
So anyway, we went, spent the whole day in meetings. Then that night, can't remember what we did. I had dinner with Ian from Auto Fiber
Oh yeah.
and Shad Stoker
Nice.
on a boat.
Two lovely guys.
Yeah.
What? On a
And-
boat?
On a boat.
That's fun.
Yep, in the middle of the hotel.
Yeah.
So we got done with our meeting, and Ian was like, "You guys want to grab dinner? I'll buy." And we're like, "Yeah, all right." So Shad and I joined him.
Absolutely, if he's
Yeah.
buying.
And
Did
so
you
we
order
sat-
the ribeye?
No, I had the pork chop.
That's such a jerk
I
move.
know, but it'd be so funny.
I had a pork chop.
It'd be so funny just to mess with Ian and just be like, "All right, Ian, you're buying, right? I'll take the ribeye and the surf and turf,
we were
right?"
laughing 'cause Shad ordered a piece of cheesecake to go.
Oh, really?
And he
That's
took it home to eat
hilarious.
it. Yeah.
I will take the beef Wellington.
Yeah. But I'm saying, or the most expensive thing, and then get Ian's reaction. Be like, "Hell, I'm
No,
buying this."
he didn't say he was gonna buy, but when push came to shove,
Yeah.
he like asked a question right as I had a mouthful, and then he had waved the
Yeah.
waiter over.
It's always a game
and
with everybody.
he totally
who
whipped his
pays.
card out as fast as he could and goes, "I got all three of us." And I was like, "What?" And Shad was in the middle of telling a story, and we were both like, "What the hell? No, no, no!" And he's like, "No, I already got it. Don't worry about it." So it was fun. We had a good time.
It's a write-off.
I was going to say, in business, everybody races to pay first, as opposed to when you're like poor college students and nobody
Yeah.
wants to pay.
Yeah, so we had a good dinner. I had a great dinner with Ian. It was a lot of fun to just hang out and chat. We talked about kids and our families and how his boys are doing, how my kids are doing, Shad's kids. Like it was just a good
Nice.
three dads talking, hanging out.
Nice. I haven't had
and
that
then-
experience yet because nobody in my age group, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to find people right now. Most of the people in my age group aren't having kids, such as Dane and Joey Belinsky.
Right. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because
It's hard.
they're signing up to get snipped
Solidarity,
earlier
Joey.
nowadays.
Fist bump. Shout out to Joey.
Yeah. So anyway, then the next morning was education day.
Okay.
So thankfully we were able to sleep in a little bit for that.
Yeah.
Lars had reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to do breakfast?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be fun." And or no, that morning did I get breakfast? Did I get breakfast? Anyway, point was
Only you know.
no, we did. Me and the boys went and had breakfast with Lars. So all of us got down there, had breakfast with Lars and Brian and Tim, and so the 6 of us ate breakfast at the Italian restaurant. They had a big breakfast buffet.
Oh.
Delightful.
Okay.
$47 a person.
It better be delightful.
Holy crap! Yeah.
Lars, so we got done and we're like, that was a lot. So we paid for our table. Lars paid for his table, and we looked. The 4 of us all looked at each other and said, "Yeah, we're not doing that again." That was a lot of money for breakfast. So we
Cool.
then we headed over. I walked over so I could get my pin and my shirt for Mobile Tech and make sure I knew where my classroom was. And then I went back up to my room and grabbed all my stuff, made sure my laptop was charged, got all my stuff because my class was at 1 o'clock. Called Carly and the kids and did all that, and then or called Carly and talked to her for a couple minutes, and then headed back over to the thing. So did my class. My class went great. I had almost a full class by the time I started.
I had somebody message me while they were in your class complimenting what a great job you were doing.
Oh, thank you. By this time, I had already started to lose. I could feel the tinges of my voice being gone.
Ooh.
I felt it that night after the meeting, after the IDA meeting. I thought, man, this is going to suck. I could feel, Anthony knows. We feel that. We're like, I think I'm going to lose my
You
voice.
get the little hoarseness, the tickle.
So I did my class, and I said, a couple times I had to hold my voice and say, hey, I'm going to probably fry my voice here, but here we go. Did the class. Then that night, got done with the class, ran back to the room, swapped some stuff around, went and got a snack, and then headed back because I had the RIT meeting, IDA RIT meeting, annual meeting. Got that done, then went back to the hotel, sat down, and I was just exhausted. I was wiped for that day.
Well, sure.
My voice was gone. The guys were all at the welcoming party for PNS and their new group. And by the time I got done with the RIT meeting, made it to my room, went to the bathroom, dropped off my stuff. I laid down for a second, and I was just wiped. So I got up, went back downstairs, said hi to the guys, grabbed me a pizza, went back up to my room, went to bed.
Oh, that's when you sent the picture of eating your pizza.
Yeah. Watched some Office and went to bed.
Okay.
Then next morning was the first day of the show.
Okay.
Lars messaged us at 7:30 and said, hey, you guys want to grab breakfast?
Yep.
And so I said, yeah. So I texted the boys, you guys want to grab breakfast? They were like, now? No. And so we didn't have to be at the show till 10. So I got to have breakfast with Lars and the guys, and that was really good. And then the show floor started. So we got our booth all finished up. Yeah. Show doors opened at 10. Swamped, busy, all the way through.
Yeah.
Pretty much lost my voice that day. Here's why. Gaylord Palms Event Center, all concrete. They put down carpet in the booths, but concrete in the aisles.
Okay.
You add in all the tools, all the power tools, all the drills, all the dent popping that was going on, all the hammering, all the tapping, all the music playing at people's... Yeah, the dull roar of people talking and walking, and then the music that people were playing in their booths, along with videos and other stuff.
How much were people cranking music in their booths?
It was a low drone, Dane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you had to yell to hear each other.
Even when you're standing right next to each other?
It was loud. Yeah. So basically all of us started to lose our voices.
So Gaylord Palms, room for improvement.
Next time, carpet down or something, because it was just noisy. So, but all in all, good show. Great group of people coming by our booth. It was awesome.
Nice.
Then that night, we were trying to figure out what we were doing for dinner that evening, and Lars was like, "What did I have?" We had our IDA Awards banquet Saturday night. So we all headed up to the IDA Awards banquet. Did that, did all the different awards and stuff, and then I had my Founders Club meeting at the end of that, and then we got done, and everyone was like, "What are we doing for dinner?" Lars had said, "Hey, you want to grab some food with me and Brian and Tim?" I went to see what the boys were doing. They were at the bar in the hotel, getting ready to order some empanadas that were the size of these Smarties boxes.
Wait, they got the meat kind or the sweet kind?
I don't know, but they got 3 empanadas for $40.
Good God.
What?
And I saw those empanadas come out, and I said, yeah, no. And I was like, I'm going to go. And I
They
told
hand
the
it
boys,
to
I
him, and
said,
it's like a little hot pocket.
I'm going to get food with Lars and those guys. And so we hop in Lars's rental Jeep, and we headed to this restaurant that is right around the corner from Brian's house. And it's Brian's favorite restaurant.
Oh.
And it was delicious. It was like South American, Latino-style food is what it said.
Oh, my
So it
gosh.
encompass all of Central and South America.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like Brazil and Argentina
It's
and all those
everything, yeah.
flavors. Okay, cool.
And so we
Probably
had
a
a
ton of
platter.
meat then.
We had a
Yeah.
platter of steak. We had a
Yeah.
platter of chicken. So on this one platter, it had steak, chicken, sausage, or chorizo, pork belly, a salad, and some guacamole.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
it was delicious. So
Yeah.
that's what we ate. And then had those. It was great. So good. And then headed back to the hotel, went to bed. Sunday morning, got up and Lars sent the text again. Guys want to do breakfast? Sent it to the boys. They were still in the shower. So I said, well, I'm ready. I'll go down. And everybody thought all the paperwork for Mobile Tech said 10 a.m. start Saturday, 9 a.m. start on Sunday. So everybody goes 9 a.m. start. So all of us were sleeping, had to wake up earlier, an hour earlier, get ready to go, get our food, get everything done, and then make it to the event center. All of us head into the event center, and right on the front says 10 a.m. start.
wow.
So everybody's in the hall, all the companies,
Yeah.
because everybody got there. They were already done. They were already dressed. They were already ready to go, and they all got there. And they're like, "What the hell?" It's like it was like the week before they changed the sign.
Yeah.
But every bit of paperwork we had said 9 a.m. start.
Yeah.
And now
and so-
everybody gets to stand for an hour.
And everyone's like, "We could have slept in for a whole other hour."
Yeah, no,
So-
that's...
Anyway, so we got ready. 10 a.m. Show started. Show went. The first day was 10 to 5. Last day was 10 to 4. Another busy show. Went by quick. Went by fast.
How did it compare to previous experiences you'd had doing the show? Because I know we used to go all together, but in the last few years, you, Josh, them have gone, so it's been a good one. I'm just curious, like, who comes through the booth?
Everybody.
Okay.
You get fans of the show. You get customers that have been using your stuff. We get people who've never heard of our towels before. We get people
Always a plus.
from dealer groups and mobile dent repair people and stuff that are learning about the towels, all that kind of stuff. So all in all, really good. The Joshes and John said it was great for them. I mean, at the end of the day, I was just shaking hands and kissing babies.
I mean, you're the face there, so
that
people
was
are
it.
going to expect that from you, whereas the other
Yeah.
ones are more like business. But
But
yeah.
we talked, a lot of people loved some of the new products that we debuted.
Nice.
That was really cool. People loved that stuff.
Rip and Rag XL.
And so they got to see, so for those of you wondering they got to see the Rip and Rag XL
I've heard a lot of people
firsthand,
talk online about it.
and our new brush. So
the
they got to
brush.
see those firsthand. They really liked them. And then I can't wait for those to come out. And then that evening after we packed up our booth, we went back up to the rooms, changed clothes, tried to chill out and relax a little bit, and then headed down to Supreme Auto Store, auto detailing store, which is one of our suppliers
Nice.
down there in Florida. And he puts on a party every evening there for us. And
Nice.
so we showed up with Rupes, Color Lock, and Nysol, and Detailer's Roadmap, and Diamond Pro Tech. And we were all down there doing the party, and they had a taco truck, had some quesadilla tacos, and some agua fresca, which was like a lime Kool-Aid. It was
Fresh
delicious.
water.
They gave out tons of prizes to everybody, and so it was all in all, it was a really good little party. And then we left because we had to leave the hotel at
Right.
2:30, so we left there by 9, drove back. Took our Uber back to the hotel. I packed, and then I called Carly, and Carly and I chatted for a half hour or so, and was able to, and then Kirby was able to get a hug. I got to see Kirby and his wife there. They were cruising
nice.
around. It's always great to see them. And then, then we hopped on left the hotel at 3:30. had the Uber already scheduled for 3:30, and we were out the door on the plane, flew back, got home about noon on Sunday. Carly and the kids picked me up at the airport. It was
so you
great.
Still had half the day left.
Dane, it doesn't.
I know you're.
There's
just
no
fried.
such thing as doing stuff in half the day. So what it meant was we got home, I unpacked, I took a shower, I went to sleep, and then about 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night, I was able to function.
There it is.
And spend an hour or two with my family before they went to bed. It's not. So what most people think is they're like, oh man, it's gonna be so great when you get home, but you're so wiped because I got up at 12:30 in the morning Boise time, and have been up for 12 hours by noon. So by 2 o'clock you start not being able to see straight, and it's hard because you want to spend time with your children and your wife,
of course,
and your family, and you just physically can't. You can't because your brain is too shot. And so it's almost better to sleep in, fly later, land, and then come in at night. I would have much rather come in Saturday night.
Yeah.
See, I would
at midnight
1,000% agree with
because
you on that.
I could have then just woken up Sunday morning with my kids and had Sunday to spend, rather than come in half of Sunday. And then, because I don't get half a Sunday. It's different when you have a wife and kids. It's totally different. Yeah. So,
makes sense.
Next time, I would say I don't like that flight. But it is what it is. For those that don't have kids, they love it because they have the rest of the day. But whatever, they can do whatever they want. So, but thankfully, Carly was gracious, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm going to need a nap, because I don't think I'm going to be able to function.
Because when you do the math, it basically you end up spending the same amount of time with people, which is not very much, but at least that way you're well rested. So that would be the trade-off if you were able to go later. Yeah. Makes sense.
Exactly. So,
cool.
But that was it.
Sweet.
And then I lost my voice. So
sounds like it.
That's pretty much, I'm trying to get it back. So
and then one last question
Star Wars
for you
room?
from Johnny.
So I've just been drawing it up, Johnny. So that's literally it. I've just been drawing up. I've got most of my schematics.
You sent me that crazy reel of that guy with his room.
Yeah, I'm not going that
nuts.
hard. But
that was like full Disney Park level of involvement.
But this one's we're gonna do some cool stuff, I think. But it's just gonna be a matter of I still gotta get some tools. I gotta get the rest of the measurements out. I figured out some ideas of what I want to do. It's gonna be a piece at a time.
Cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Dane, what'd your weekend look like?
Weekend for me, decidedly a little less eventful than that, but still had some fun stuff. Went out for the walk, got word that the Jag was finally repaired.
What?
I was very excited about that.
It's been months.
Finally got some pictures. Yes, it's been 5 months.
So you got pictures of it, though?
I got pictures of it showing the fixed state because they had to send me pictures. They had to show me pictures in order to let me know, okay, is he going to say yes, no, somewhere in between so that we can have it shipped back to you.
Are you going to fly down there to take a look at it before they ship it?
Nope. I'm just taking the chance. So essentially,
how did it look in the photos?
It looked good. I was paying closest attention to the panel gaps and trying to make sure that they looked even.
Yeah.
The panel gaps are kind of funny on the Jag. They're a little big on those front wings and the way the hood fits on it, but it's because the hood's a giant clamshell, so getting everything to fit is a bit of a challenge. Looks like they got it all nice and straight though. So
cool.
I'm trusting the shop. They're a certified shop, actual Jag OEM, all that stuff. So if anybody's going to do it, I trust them to do the best job. And the guy I worked with there was really helpful, unlike insurance who dragged this out. So anyway, got that excited. The problem is it's going to be towed up here and delivered sometime this week, which means I will not be present for that. Yep. So I'm just hoping that whoever does bring it up doesn't attempt to deliver it on my driveway, but rather drop it off on the road down below, drive it up my driveway, give the keys to my girlfriend, call it good. Then we're done. Then we're set.
Yeah.
But that's the move there. So apart from that, that was pretty much the main thing. Outside of that, though, I would say prepping for this trip, getting things ready, and I started this new thing where at home when I'm doing my whole exercise regimen, eating healthier. That's one thing I've definitely been doing a lot more of. I'm getting those Factor meals delivered. I've been doing different services just to see which ones I like or don't like. But right now I'm on Factor, and so far it's hard to argue with what's essential. Liz didn't like it when I called them glorified leftovers, but that's kind of what they are. Yeah. They're essentially meal prep that someone else does and then sends it to your house, and you heat it up in 2 minutes, and it's good to go. The quality is actually really solid. I was impressed with what it is, but because they're never frozen, you got to go through them fairly quick. in a week or so. But that was the thing there. But man, easy to get into, so I can see the appeal. Apart from that, I can feel you rushing me along here.
No, I'm not rushing you along. I do think, though, there's a meal service here locally where you could support local. And
God,
it's called...
And not a chain.
So it's not a chain.
Not a chain.
It's not a chain company. And it's also different than having somebody do your grocery shopping for you, because I know that you are against that.
Yeah.
I like to do my own grocery shopping.
Dane likes to support local businesses, mom and pops.
So there is a local company called...
You used to use them.
Yeah, there's a local company here called MEP Meals. MEP.
I'm sorry, what MEP?
MEP Meals.
Meals
came up
easily
with that
prepared.
name?
I'm not sure. But they are friends with our friends over at Idaho Fitness Factory, who
Well, that's
are a
lovely.
customer of ours. And Met Mills is a local company who does meal prep for you.
Fresh
And they
ingredients,
focus
local
on
ingredients
fresh
sometimes.
local ingredients.
I'd be excited to try 'em out.
Healthy foods delivered straight to your door.
That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
And you can freeze them or you can eat them immediately.
Okay. Well, not a fan of the freezing, but eating them right away sounds great.
So you can eat them right away, and they're all delicious, and they'll come prepackaged, so you can take them
Nice.
to work with you, or you can eat them at home. And they have all sorts of different things. They have taco bowls that they do. They have...
I feel like you had this whole pitch chambered and ready to go.
He's always had
They
it
have
chipped and
taco
ready.
bowls that they
But-
do. They have roasted chicken. They have different types of
Do they have a
porks.
website that I could go
They
check
do.
out?
You can check out metmeals.com or just Google
I swear
search
this is not a
Met
sponsored
Meals
segment.
Boise.
He's literally just telling me this.
And you can
Yeah.
search
No,
for
I
them
remember we
and
talked
support
about
them.
this, yeah.
And you can get a large meal, and it roughly comes out roughly about $10 for a large meal. But a large meal is actually 2 meals for yourself. So think about $5 a meal, Dane. It's not a bad deal.
Oh no, $5 a meal. I can get down with
I think
that.
you can
That sounds good.
I think you can get behind that. I think you
Yeah.
can get in front of that. And so,
You know?
tell us about the VR goggles.
So I'll get to that one in a
Okay.
minute. But what I was getting at was part of my whole fitness regimen, eating healthier. That was a big part. Portion control. Because for me, my problem is like for anybody who's been in this situation, you can comment. But my problem is all through the day. You see me at my desk. I'm not somebody who's like a grazer. Like you're eating constantly through the day, but
What are
they're
you
like
talking about?
snacky,
Am
smaller
I actually
things.
eating constantly?
But no, like that's actually a good thing. That's what you're supposed to be doing for a lot of folks.
You don't graze.
do, and I don't.
You
I
have to
go
keep
into
your
editing mode.
keep
all
your
day.
metabolism
So
going.
I do nothing in terms of like intake, like food and stuff. Maybe I have lunch. Oh, there's a lot of days where I don't have lunch. I just work through lunch, and that's not great. I don't recommend that to people. Then I go home
skip
and
lunch.
I have a big fat dinner to make up for all of it, and this is the result. Like this is the calories catching up with your
Do you
slowed
know
down
who-
metabolism
do you know
and your
who-
lack of physical movement
Do you know
because
who
you
eat
lead
like
a
that?
sedentary lifestyle.
Do you know who eat like that with one big massive meal a day?
Who?
Sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, well, that
that's
explains
how they
that
pack
because
on that
you know
much weight
I'm
because they have to slow down their
definitely
metabolism.
I'm definitely working my way towards a sumo frame, and I need to flip that around. I need to get myself outside of that ring, and I need to actually get back to my old fighting weight of about 180 to 220. That's my good range. That's where I'm best. So right now at 298. Not the best.
You
so
do not want to hit
anyway,
300.
no, and I crested 300 the other day, and I said, F you, scale. And then that's when I went and I did my new thing, which is
threw the scale out the window.
walking
Hucked it in his
on
neighbor's
my new
backyard.
treadmill with the combination of the healthier eating. I'm now walking on the treadmill, and I was live streaming myself walking on the treadmill.
Oh, boy.
And it's a way of like actually holding myself accountable. And I'm even like putting in the title, I'm like putting my weigh in before I go and walk on the on the
great.
treadmill. And I'm like, here's my weight for the day. We're going to do a little walk and talk, and I'm just going to go. So I'm being totally transparent. Like, here's what it is. Anthony was dying laughing because I did something that I thought would be helpful as like an accountability measure. And then I realized I had accidentally just invented like something not good. So I basically have a webcam on my face, which is fine because I need to talk to people while I'm, doing the whole thing. And I'm walking at a standing desk. But then I also had a separate webcam that's like an older webcam, and I pointed at the treadmill. And I thought, this is good. This will show people that I am, in fact, actually walking on a
Start getting
treadmill.
some people donating some money.
Because I was
for
like,
feet pics?
people see I'm actually walking on a treadmill. This is a great thing because people might just think I'm sitting there like bobbing like this, pretending to walk on a treadmill if all they see is my top of my torso, like butt shot. And I'm like, okay, we got the camera pointed down. Perfect. And then about 10 minutes in, I'm like, I just invented a foot cam. This is not good. This is not what I meant to do.
No, and the reason, I know the sole reason why Dane did this, right? Dane did this because he goes, there's going to be people out there that won't believe me that I'm actually walking, so they're going to get a foot cam so they know it's the real deal.
Yep.
And now I just embrace it. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And it gives me a chance to show off what Brooks I'm wearing that day.
right.
So it's a nice touch. But
friends of Brooks.
It's the circle
ultimately,
of life.
I think walking is a great is a step in the right direction. But I do think that eventually, Dane, we are going to get to a point where you need to take it to the next level. And
yeah.
And I
Should be
genuinely
doing some body
Yeah.
weight exercise.
no, I just genuinely think that a gym membership and basically making that a part of your
yeah.
day is going to the gym and
Eventually
using the
get
equipment there is going to get you to that. It's going to get you over that next hill.
Yeah, I need to get down to like 270, 260, and then I'll start adapting the next level is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So this initial one, it's like a bunch of just like soft, fluffy, water weight, whatever stuff. I want to get rid of that.
And I'd say just to do it slow too, because what's
Yeah.
going to happen too is as you're on your weight loss journey, right? You're going to be losing weight, right? You want your skin to retain its elasticity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend.
Oh, no. I know what happens when
supplementing-
people lose weight too fast.
Yeah, you need to start
get-
supplementing
yeah.
things that promote elasticity. I highly recommend things that are good for your skin, such as fish oils and things like that, because what will happen is you start shrinking, right? You don't want a bunch of excess skin. So if you slowly lose weight over fastly, abruptly losing weight,
Your skin can
you
handle
actually
it,
will be
yeah.
better for your skin in the long run, and it'll look better.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And that is something that I'm looking
Joey,
forward to.
if we lived closer to each other, there could be a possibility of that, but realistically, it's tough because I don't get my time to go to the gym until 9:30 at night is my time to go to
We
the gym.
used to live very close to each other, but now we live on other ends of
And
town.
so that's my time to go, and
Yeah.
because if I go straight after work at like 5:30, I'm usually not going to be home by 7. My daughter
You
goes
might
to
not
bed
even get
by
a chance to get
8:30.
on anything either.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because all the machines are being taken and used.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that is something that I'm making a point of. And when I do these walks, it's not like, oh, Dane went for a little half-hour walk. No, I'm walking for upwards of an hour and a half to 2 hours.
And you're talking.
While talking, while typing on the computer, doing all
Yeah,
that. It's
I'm proud of you.
multitasking.
Yeah.
So I'm probably burning more calories at 2 miles an hour walking than other people are. So that's
What
my hope
I-
is like
what I would
accelerate it
hope-
while taking my brain off of the exercise, because as long
Yeah.
as I can do that, I can tolerate it. I go into editing mode that
Yeah,
way. So
exactly.
it works.
Dane, what I want is I want you to get a band of brothers with you that also get treadmill walking things, right? Who will also walk with you as
Live
you're
stream.
streaming, right?
Nice.
And then eventually you can get them to have a webcam, so you got a bunch of people walking with foot cams, right? And then ideally the foot cams kind of
Call
start
you guys
expanding,
selves
right?
the Paw Patrol.
So
Oh,
then you
man.
start then you start losing a few layers, right? The
Yeah.
shoes come off, right? Next thing you know, the socks come off,
getting hot,
and then
sweaty.
it's bare feet, right? And then you're gonna have
no.
a whole new audience there that's gonna be like, wow, look at all these bare feet walkers on these treadmills.
That is the day I know I need to change to a different form of exercise. But on that note, I just wanted to throw that out there. It's like, it's my very weird, unique way of trying to hold myself accountable and
Yeah.
do it. Because if there's an audience, you feel that pressure like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I see that 20 minutes. I'm not going to stop 10 minutes early. I'm going to walk that full 20 minutes that are left after going for 100 minutes already, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It helps for my brain. Anyway,
I like that.
That's enough there. So thank you for everybody for tolerating that. That was fun. But apart from that, now I can get to the Apple Vision Pro, which is like the thing on the internet. Reels, videos, everybody's going nuts for this stuff. $3,500 VR goggle headset from Apple. Oh boy, people are looking at it like, this is just another VR gimmicky whatever thing, and people freak out about the price because they compare it to like an Oculus, whatever. And I will say this as a person who usually doesn't care about VR. Like, I have no dog in that fight. I'm not like one of these tech guys who's like, oh, I gotta have the latest and greatest thing, because there's a lot of people like that. I'm just not one of them. I like what I like, and what I don't like, whatever. I don't have to have the newest stuff. But with the Apple Vision Pros, I can understand the price, because essentially it's a computer in there. It's like having a Mac Studio or a Mac Mini, something like
everything.
that in there. It's not just like the VR headsets where it has to rely on something else to handle the stuff. It's all self-contained in that. You got the cord going into your pocket with like a little battery bank looking thing, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I tried it. I was legitimately impressed. I was surprised. My brother bought one.
$3,500 impressed.
That's the thing. I can finally understand the price once I got to use it. I'm like, okay, this is much better than other VR experiences somebody, had me try before.
Yeah.
And I get it because it can replace a lot of things you would normally do with, say, a $2,000 computer, $2,500 computer. I know there's cheaper computers out there, but if you're buying Apple stuff, it tends to be expensive. You pay the Apple tax, whatever. So I get it. It is expensive, but it's also one of those things that I think over time will get cheaper. So I could see the benefit. But I did point out to my brother a few things about it that had me a little worried, because I do kind of worry if everybody starts adapting all this, VR stuff to daily life and you want to go watch a movie. And my brother's like, yeah, everybody can wear the sets and they can all see a movie together. I'm like, but it's not the same community feeling of like all sitting all together on the couch and like watching a screen together where you're all, and he's like, well, you're watching the same thing. I'm like, yeah, but you're like together, but somehow more distant because you're all in your own little thing. And I'm normally not like a super sentimental guy, but that kind of thing kind of stuck out to me. It's like, that feels a little wrong. Just whatever.
Yeah.
But for individually, if you're just going to go like watch a movie and you don't want to set up like a TV screen or whatever, you're on the road or whatever, it's amazing how immersive and all that it can be, just like watching a movie. And the 3D in it was incredible, and I normally don't care about 3D movies. All I'm saying is, for somebody who's generally a skeptic,
so
and
like
does
on
not
this
have,
flight tomorrow that you're going to take, would you wish you had that?
Honestly, yeah, kind of. It would definitely change it. Or like on the road, like just going anywhere, you're like, oh, I could totally do this huge PowerPoint presentation. I could have like a 100-inch screen in the goggles, but not have any of that in real life, and I could do my presentation in a augmented setup where it feels like I'm setting up, so I have a better idea of when it's going to be on that screen for everybody to look, what you're going to be able to see, what you're not going to be able to see. There's some interesting applications, and even Liz, who's like, she hates the whole AI craze because she's an artist and stuff, and feels like they're getting stolen from and all that, and like I get it.
Living at it.
She and normally she's kind of like, oh, tech stuff. Like she likes tech, but she finds the whole like tech culture thing to be really annoying, and I get that. But she tried them and went, oh my God, there's so many applications you could actually use to like create art with this and stuff. She was won over by him. So I was just really impressed. And even my dad, if you know, he's got the eye patch now. He can't really see out of that one eye, but he's got the good one. He wore the set, and he said he was truly impressed with how he was able to see stuff in him that normally would require both eyes, but it was able to handle just, feeding information to one. It was enough to get the full picture.
Get that? And that way he can start doing some of his
So
emails on that?
I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I do think like he was won over by it too. So a lot of skeptical people, I think. If you just see the reels of like morons crossing the street, like pretending to type and stuff, or you see somebody like in their autopilot driven car, like pretending to type and all that, or maybe they really are, like that's people hunting for views on the internet. Like that's normal, like rage baity behavior. And it's just the day and age we live in. But as somebody who's skeptical, I was genuinely impressed. I understand the price will scare people away, but I think in a few years you'll see maybe a cheaper model come out, or for the same price, you'll get one with like way better cameras attached to it. Because the one thing I noticed was the limitation there. Got to get better sensors and cameras on it to improve like the ability, like when you turn your head fast for it to react and stuff. And like the image quality is good, but everything's a little dimmer when you have them on versus when you take it off. Like I was in the White Room here trying it, and it's interesting how much it dims things, but the stuff it displays is extremely crisp and bright. It's weird to describe, but once you experience it, you understand it. So anyway, I was won over by it when I'm normally not somebody who would care.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I like the idea of the technology, and I think it's cool that we've just come to that point where we'd be able to create this kind of stuff. What I don't like is the idea of like, because if any company can normalize something, it's Apple, right? Yeah. What I don't like the idea is of normalizing headsets in everyday life.
And that's what I was challenging Corey on,
that part
too. Yeah.
freaks me out. I don't like that. I think it's super weird. And like
together apart.
I can't. Yeah, it totally just makes it feel less human, and I don't like that aspect of it. But
social isolation keeps happening more and more.
As far as which some people like social isolation, they live for that.
When you have that alone time, it's fine. But I think like when it becomes like the predominant option, that everybody is like, oh, you're weird if you try and actually like hang out with other people, you try and be social, like you're the weird guy now. That creates a weird stigma where it forces people to be lonely who maybe should have had a chance.
It's tough enough, right? We all have our phones in our hands, and we already aren't
Yeah,
there.
we're on our way.
We aren't there
with
in many
phones.
moments that we probably should be in, just because we don't like being bored, and we feel like we can fit whatever time we can with. I mean, I'm like the most guilty of that.
I was going to say, out of everyone here,
I'm
are
the most guilty of
but
that.
But it's good you're saying that, so I appreciate you saying that.
But I'm very guilty of that. So that's why I'm saying that, like, you take somebody that has maybe like my similar personality, or somebody that's even more addicted to that kind of stuff, and you give them this option. It's like, are they actually going to like start wearing that? Is that going to have to be accepted that they're wearing like this thing? And I go, and they'll be like, no, I'm still here. I can still see you, and I'm still part of the conversation. I go, but
there's a
really.
barrier now. Even if they project the face onto the persona thing they talk about.
You put the Dyson mask on, where you got the headphones and the breathing mask, and then you put the computer over your face.
No, it's still
thing.
creating separation where there doesn't need to be separation. But on an individual basis, for somebody who's just working in their office or something, I totally see the benefits and appeal there. But in a social atmosphere, I don't want that to become the norm.
Well, no, I could see it for people that are working in tech that need to have multiple things open that can work faster by doing that.
Oh, totally.
Like
you can Minority Report your way through.
Yeah, you're now creating like this perfect system for like a savant that's just like great with that kind of stuff. But like for everyday other people, it's just like, what are you gonna have?
Well, I only
you
use
got
my stuff to check
you got
my email.
YouTube open here. I have Instagram open here. I have, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, this is just an overload of crap.
No, when I was trying it, I was like, open up like an art program here, have a spreadsheet there, have a document there to read stuff. Like, it actually made sense in practice. I'm like, okay, I can see this beats having just like dual monitor setup or something.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll stick long term. It could stick long term.
No.
We don't know yet. We just don't know because there's probably a lot of people that feel like the way I do about this, but there's probably a lot of other people that are like, oh, you're overly worried about the future. Just let it happen. And I'm like, I don't know.
No. We should definitely pay close attention to where things seem to be going and try and head them at the pass if it starts looking sketchy. Yeah. My big takeaway on all this is essentially, as long as headsets continue to look stupid on people, they won't be widely adopted. They won't become too mainstream.
No,
they're mostly going to be a gimmick for reels and videos and things.
Put these in.
If they wind up in
Ray-Bans,
glasses, you're talking about a slightly different story then.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray-Ban is doing that Instagram thing, but apart from that, it's not quite there yet. But when they can get to that point, I do see that becoming more of a common thing.
Yeah.
But we're not quite there yet, so.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I just worry about the social aspects. But hey, throwing that caveat out there, that's pretty much my weekend. We had a nice little time at the griddle with my family, and we caught up with our old German foreign exchange student that my folks had right after I'd left the nest. Been gone for about a year, but they had him, and he was great. Great kid. But anyway, caught up with him after a couple of years of not really talking to him. He just happened to call out and wanted to talk to us. So that's what we did on Sunday.
Sweet.
Anyway, that's my weekend. How about you?
Cool. Well, mine was a magical time. Magical. So this was my first time going back to Disneyland. And
when was the last time you were there?
I am trying to pinpoint a date. I'm having a very hard time pinpointing
your age.
It was either 11 or it was like something like 14. I don't remember the exact thing, but I'm just going to say it was over 10 years. It has to be over 10 years.
Was California Adventure there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that opened in 2001.
Yeah. So, California Adventure was there. So this must have been maybe I was 13, maybe I was 11. I'm not sure. But I know that California Adventure was there. So it's been quite some time. And, you know what? Yeah, probably around 11, 12, 13. So over 10 years, and my wife and I had planned this trip back in
15 years.
I want to say 15 years. I want to say we planned this trip back in December, so because we knew
almost
we wanted
20.
to
nigh on 20 years,
pretty much. So we knew that we wanted to go and check Disneyland out. We wanted to go do this trip again. So I think it was back in December we planned the trip, and we said, hey, end of January. My wife got some like deal on flights that was like dumb. I don't know what it was. It was like $150 a person round trip, or something like that. It was just
it's one of those wild deals like I got with the kids. It's just you can't explain it, but you jump on it.
You can't pass it up. So we jumped on that. we got our flights and we booked our hotel. So it was last I think Wednesday, or no, it was Tuesday is what it was, last Tuesday. We flew down to LAX, got our Uber from LAX to Anaheim, and that was where the trip started off. It was actually kind of crazy because we get in this car, we land at 4:30, get caught up in LA traffic around that time on our way to Anaheim, and it was crazy because we're on the freeway, we're stuck in just literally stop and go, not going anywhere traffic, seeing a bunch of different cars, saw a bunch of riced out Honda Civics and things like that that I obviously needed to see. But what was crazy and something I didn't post about was we saw a motorcycle accident, right? Ooh. And we were stuck in this weird traffic spot, and then we started opening up, and we see this fire truck that's parked sideways, and in the distance, about 100 yards away, right? Maybe about 100 yards away, I saw a brand new 2022 ZX6R KRT edition. It's a Kawasaki 636, right? It's a street bike, and I saw that in the distance on the ground sideways, right, with the fairings exploded everywhere before that. And I go, oh crap, dude, that looks like a pretty bad accident. We started driving by. I look over. Wish I wouldn't have looked over because. Saw a dude. They were checking his pulse. Right, had no shoes on. Everything flew off. Right, yeah. They were checking his pulse, and I go, "Holy crap, dude! That was actually the first time I ever saw somebody that I looked over and I said, I don't think that person made it. Right, Katie was sleeping, but she woke up for that brief second to look over and go oh God, right? Yeah, but the thing is California riding's different. It's crazy on a motorcycle in California, right? With lane splitting and all that, but. The way it looked is that dude, he had to have either been lane splitting or he had to have been stunting because it was a stunt bike. The way he had it set up, I could tell you the bars and everything on it. So maybe he was trying to
do some tricks.
So not a squid necessarily, but more of a...
Well, most stunters are squids.
Well, I get there could be overlap, but...
I would imagine he would have done something.
Was there any gear present? You said it all flew off, so was there
he had a helmet on. He had a helmet on, but there was no jacket or anything like that. So, and there was no other cars present in the wreck, right? So it was just him. So whether it was a hit and run...
Okay, that feels like a stunter kind of
did, I don't know.
Then,
but I saw that. I looked over. I go, crap, dude. That's nuts, right? Because you don't see that too often. No. So we went to our hotel. We stayed at the La Quinta.
Very nice.
La Quinta.
Exotic.
Quint or something like that.
Inn.
So this.
Yeah. Did you guys get the? Did they give you a continental breakfast every morning?
Yes, they did.
Rolls and muffins.
Rolls, muffins, and you're making pancakes, right? So the place was really affordable, and a 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk to Disney, right, which is great.
Not bad.
Right across the street from the Cheesecake Factory, which is also nice, right?
Yeah.
And that other place that they have kind of over there, it's another type of district where it's like a nightlife place, right, where they have restaurants and a couple different club things next to the I don't know, some kind of martial arts, not MMA. There's a place over there. I don't know what the heck it's called. So UFC something. So. But we stayed there, and really affordable, really nice, nothing too super fancy, but it did the job, right? And that first day, we went into downtown Disney, checked that out.
Yeah.
I think we got our first churro there. Got myself a Fruity Pebble churro. Do you know they made those?
Mm-hmm.
Insane. Katie thought it was disgusting.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been disgusting.
I thought it was fantastic. So,
oh boy, the sugar.
We went to downtown Disney, and we went and ate at, can't remember what place it
Earl
was.
Sandwich?
No, it was not Earl Sandwich, but do you know, if you look up the best places to eat in downtown Disney, Earl Sandwich is number one.
Yeah.
But here in Boise, Earl Sandwich is known as the gas station sandwich shop on Eagle Road.
Exactly.
It is.
Because that's the only Earl Sandwich we have. So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so
we went to the little Mexican joint on right outside of Disney. You walk out those doors, out downtown Disney, go up to whatever that street is, take a right, and on the left-hand side, there's this little Mexican restaurant before you get up to the next intersection. And that's where we went. We went and just walked in, ordered some delicious burritos and quesadillas. And it was delightful.
I can't remember what this place was called. It was a beer. It was some type of tap house, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think the burgers were $25 or whatever it was. Insanely expensive. But we ate there, and then we said, let's go shopping. Let's go check some stuff out.
Wander around the Disney store.
We didn't really want to buy anything. We just wanted to go check out. Just go window shopping. So this is what was really interesting. So we're walking through, and we see this kind of like art place, right? It's like some type of Disney art store where there's like hand-drawn things and of the characters and whatnot. You go inside and check it out. So we walk inside. My daughter sees like all the different backpacks that they have, and of course, all these backpacks are like $100 and all sorts of crazy stuff.
They make Loungefly makes these really cool backpacks, Dane.
Yeah,
and they're for almost every character, every movie, everything that Disney has ever done.
Well, that's fun.
And so you can pick and choose different ones. So Carly has a bunch of different ones, and for her birthday last 2 years
like
ago,
mini backpacks.
They're mini backpacks,
they're not very
but they're
usable at all.
The kind you'd see at a rave.
No, they're really nice.
Okay.
So Carly has, she's got a few of them that she's bought that are really cool. And when you start getting to know them,
you're correct though.
Yeah,
like
you know.
backpack. But the point is, like everybody wears them.
Yeah.
And
Very
even
Californian.
dads will have them because they got certain styles and stuff. But
Yeah, I've
Didn't
been
see
looking for,
one
like, the
dad
most
with it.
obscure
really,
one
there's
possible.
so many dads that have
Didn't
them.
see one dad. Actually, no, I did see some guys with them, but I'll talk about that here a little bit later.
Oh, that's a different kind of dad.
Okay.
Oh.
So, anyways, we got to
daddy.
we got to this place and we were walking around and I was checking out all the different artwork in this back kind of corner area. And as I'm standing there looking at all the different things, which was genuinely interesting, out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy kind of walk up and he's kind of looking at some stuff too. And I kind of glance over. I go, God, that guy looks familiar, right?
Yeah.
And we're sitting there standing, and I'm looking at some stuff, and my daughter kind of runs up to me, and she's like, Daddy, you know, look, whatever, and she's wanting to point some stuff out to me.
Yeah.
And I go, Lucy, I'm like, which picture do you want above our fireplace, right? Just kind of joking. And then I hear, yeah, Lucy, what picture do you want? And I kind of like laugh, and I look over, and I go, that guy is somebody, right? And so I'm like, I don't know. I think that I look at him and I go, I think that this one right here would go pretty hard. Looks pretty good. He's like, no, you do not want that one. He's like, that's hideous. You want this one. And he points to an even uglier one. And I go, I don't know if we can even top that, right? That's pretty bad. He's like, is it so bad or is it so good, right? Like, and we started joking. I can't remember exactly.
Start riffing.
We start riffing. We start kind of going back and forth.
He got the green light. Now it's time.
And then he looks at Lucy and he goes, Lucy, how about you pick the one you want? So we're kind of sitting there talking. And then this guy's wife comes over and she kind of grabs them and they start looking at some other stuff. And I kind of, gave her, said hi to her because it was weird. It was like a lot of eye contact that was going on, a lot of kind of back and forth. And then eventually they kind of started walking out. They're like, all right, well, see you later. I go, see ya. And then I go, holy crap, that was Patton Oswalt. and it didn't, because in the moment, I couldn't think of his name, where I'd seen him, where he was from. Yeah. But the second he walked away, it all hit me at one time.
It's the mental pressure. It happens to everybody. When somebody's like, what's your favorite blood? Like on a podcast or something. And even though you know it all the time elsewhere, when you're in that moment and somebody asks you, poof, it's all gone. The brain just dumps it all out.
I grab my phone to double check and verify. And I look at it like, oh my God, right? And I go, of all freaking people, the guy that everybody say I look like, right? A famous person, a famous actor, comedian, whatever you want to call him, voiceover guy. The chances that I would run into anybody famous, right? There's something there.
But that's kind of a
that guy specifically, that's freaking hilarious. So I tell my wife, and she goes, Who's this person? I pull him up.
You've seen something he's been in. He's in so much.
You go, Remy from Ratatouille.
There you go.
She goes, oh, King of Queens, or whatever she said.
Yeah, no,
and I go, yeah. She goes,
something.
That's crazy. Did you ask for his autograph? And I go, no, I was just talking to him. I didn't really think anything of it.
He was probably happy that you didn't say anything.
Then she goes, was he with the brunette lady? And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh my God. She goes, she was so nice. And she was, because I guess while I was talking to him, right, when Lucy, my daughter, had come over to me, she was previously over there in a different conversation with my wife and his wife, because my wife was saying, hey, sorry, she doesn't really have any spatial awareness. And then Patton Oswalt's wife said, oh, don't worry, I'm just going to steal her anyways, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so it was just a whole funny thing. So anyways, we're walking out of there, and I go, man, what a missed opportunity. I should have gotten a photo. Nobody's going to believe the story, right?
Right.
And we walk
didn't happen.
We walk into a different shop, and we walk out of that one shop, and we kind of start walking in this weird alleyway area, and then there he is again. I see him just kind of walking, just cruising along with his wife, and I go,
Just
F
do
it,
it.
dude. I go,
Just
F
do
it.
it.
What do I have to lose, right? What do I have to lose? So I say, hey, Patton, quick question, because I'm probably never going to get this opportunity.
You addressed him by his
again.
name like immediately
Yeah.
when you walked up.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, he does know who I am."
Yeah.
Like,
So
he
I
clicked in his
say,
head.
I'm probably never going to get this opportunity again. I was over there. I told him, I said, I was over in the art shop with you. I said, would it be cool if I grabbed a picture with you? And he goes, yeah, I'm cool with that. And I go, sweet.
Did you introduce yourself to him at least?
So I said, my name's Anthony, by the way. He's like, nice to meet you. He's like, you're Lucy's dad, right? And I said, I am Lucy's dad. And
No, this is just
so-
some kid that wandered into this.
So then his wife was like, do you have something? Do you have something to take a picture with? I go, here's my phone.
At
So I-
3% battery,
so I-
probably.
yeah.
Like, it dies the second he's about to take the...
So I hand her my phone. It was just so funny because as like we're getting ready to take the picture, I go. So the funniest part about this whole thing, dude, is that everybody at my work, right? I didn't want to say what I do for work or that like I didn't want to bring up YouTube. That's stupid, right? I was just saying everybody at my work says that we look a lot alike, right? I look a lot like you. And he goes and he stops.
And he looks up at you.
He looks me up and down. He goes, "What? That you're my giant?" And I laugh. He goes, you got like a foot on me, dude. And I'm like, well, I think facial expressions. And he goes, I could see a little bit of that. And so we grab our photo, and I say, hey, dude, I really appreciate it, man. Have a great rest of your night. He goes, hey, thanks. See you later. And so that was it. And I was just like, dang, dude, that's crazy. And I looked at the photo. I'm like, it took. Right?
Yeah, you know, imagine.
It's
just
not
a
like my
blurry
eyes are
mess.
blank or,
Yeah.
because you know how iPhone photos will work at night. Sometimes everything, it opens
Yeah,
up
my
the
photo
ISO.
with Doug DeMuro has him just like...
Yeah. So hilarious. And so we finished our night there. That was good. And then the following day we woke up relatively early, 8:30, something like 8 o'clock, whatever it was. I went and grabbed some breakfast downstairs, just bananas and stuff, because my goal for Disneyland that day was to essentially eat nothing but.
Well, you were gonna slow cook something for
Yeah.
later.
So did La Quinta
Well-
have a nice selection of chiquitas?
No.
Oh.
They had nothing. And their customer service, for what it's worth,
They
was
mentioned
absolutely
bananas,
horrible.
so-
Like, they don't care about anybody there at all whatsoever. But they do.
Great review.
But
What
they do.
stars would you give them?
No, the rooms are fine.
Oh, okay.
But the
You're
people,
only sleeping there. The
the
goal is
people-
that you're
yeah,
not utilizing
yeah.
the amenities.
People at the front desk, they don't give a crap about you. I mean, like, every person we went to, they treat us like we were crazy.
Yeah.
But they do sell Takis and hot Cheetos at the concession place there that they have. So my goal was to eat nothing but potassium that day,
Yeah.
right? Because my stomach can be sensitive sometimes on
Yeah,
trips. So
you've
I'm
got a
just wanting
sensitive tummy.
to take it easy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So bagels,
So
bananas.
bagels, bananas, things
Yep.
like that. So
Bears,
we
beets,
get
but also
to the
galactic.
park, and right off the bat, we start getting some autographs from the princesses and whatnot. My daughter was just like head over heels. She just loves pretty girls in dresses. She's
Yeah.
just drawn to
Aw.
them. So we start getting autographs. It was the cutest thing, and then we started kind of making our way into Disneyland. And right off the bat, I have to say this: the amount of people is absolutely mind-blowing, staggering.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I go, has it always been this busy? And I was like sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, because as a kid, I remember it being busy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But being there in person, I was like, what? This is the slow season.
Right.
According to
Yeah.
what people say it is, January is very slow. This particular week is extremely, extremely slow. But I couldn't wrap my head around how many people were there, let alone how many kids were there, right? Teenagers, young kids, under 10, because I go, is this the school season?
Right.
Like, aren't kids supposed to be in school right now, or is that not?
think.
Is that not a thing, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than just holy crap. There was just a ton of people, right? So we start making our way through. This is my first time being there, obviously, as a dad with a stroller. And it wasn't just me. It was me, my wife, and my father-in-law, right, who were with us. But we went straight to Pirates of the Caribbean, rode that. Right after that, we went to go kind of check in for the Blue Bayou. We missed the wait time, whatever it was, the window. So we kind of missed that. But that first day, dude, we had, I don't know, I must have had maybe 4 churros or something like that, 5 churros. I can't remember how many churros it was. But we hit every major ride, right? Indiana Jones, Space Mountain. We hit Thunder Mountain. We hit
all the mountains.
All the mountains, right? And then there was Smuggler's Run we did. So we went over to the Star Wars land. That was my first time being over there at, what's it called? Something Rift. What's it called? The Star Wars land.
Oh, you went to Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge, sorry. Galaxy's
Black
Edge.
Spire Outpost.
Sure. So going there, impressed, right?
Beautiful, right?
They did a very good job with pretty much everything there. The whole...
Did you notice the plants?
Yes.
They found plants that look alien.
Nice.
Everything there.
That's literally what they said. They're like, we literally focused on finding plants no one's seen before.
No, I mean...
I'm guessing requires special care and attention.
Yeah, I was extremely impressed with just the overall layout, the vibes of everything. Like, this is pretty good. The drinks. And so we ended up going there, jumped on the Smuggler's Run ride. We did that. We had a ton of fun. I tried getting in for the freaking... What's it called? Rise of the Resistance. But there was, at that time, it's like a 200-minute wait time. I said, nope, we're not doing that. But we ended up going to Olga's Cantina, right?
Yeah.
Because my wife was like, hey, I think I need a drink. And I go, hey, I think I need a drink too, right? Because my back is starting to hurt. Because this is like towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a really hard place to get into.
It's very hard. I was surprised you got in.
And we put our name in. We got in, and that place was sweet. Super cool. The drinks were of Dane's level of like...
Oh, my pickiness, I would enjoy it.
Fancy and fun. Like they use, in one drink, they use like this foam. It's like made from like a Japanese flower that numbs your mouth as like the drink goes in. So it's like this cool prickly
It's
feeling.
like frothy lidocaine.
Dude, it is. So there's all sorts of different stuff that they do there. But... After spending, I don't even know how much money. It was a lot. Like 6 drinks and some spicy edamame. We got out of there, and then I ended up grabbing some blue milk and some green milk, right? Me being lactose intolerant, I said I had to verify.
Oh,
I said,
okay, right.
There is no dairy, and they said no, it's coconut and rice milk. And I go, oh.
Because they probably deal with so many people who've got like allergies and all kinds of whatever. They're like, don't even bother. Do something that's going to be okay.
In general, they're really. I mean, Disneyland's very good about talking about the allergies and saying, hey, this doesn't contain this. A lot of vegan options there for people. But Galaxy's Edge, super cool. I was very impressed by it.
The Ronto Roasters. Did you walk through the?
I did.
Like,
but I didn't smell the chicken smell that you described. It wasn't.
Did you smell? Were they cooking anything?
Didn't smell like anything. It
smelled so much like a giant backyard chicken
cookout kind of thing.
It was like, ooh.
It didn't smell like anything. But I did see that was a cool spot. But we tried to get in for the Rise of the Resistance one more time, and it just wasn't. We didn't know that there was no fast passes for it, but we also weren't willing to wait 150 minutes.
So what is that ride? Like what?
It's a full experience.
So Dane, let me break it down to you. So
please.
Rise of the Resistance, you walk in.
Okay.
Right? You walk down the whole thing, do your line queue, then you get in and they put you in a room.
Okay.
Take like 50 people. Mm-hmm. They put you in a room. You stand in this room, they shut the doors behind you. You're in a cave with the blast doors.
Okay.
All of a sudden, BB-8 rolls out. Then what is that called? A hologram pops up, and it's Rey. And it's really good that it's a hologram right there. And you're like, holy crap. And then she starts talking to you about how we need to get you guys here. We got to get you off base and all this stuff. So then she goes, BB-8, go get the X-Wing fired up, because Poe gets on and goes, hey, I'm waiting for you, BB-8. We're ready to rock and roll. And then you walk out. The next blast door opens. You walk out. There's Poe's X-Wing sitting there.
Dope. Ready
to rock and roll. And your transport ship. All of a sudden you walk to the transport ship. That gate opens. Everybody gets into the transport ship. Everybody just stands in this transport ship.
Yeah.
All the windows around it are showing the outside of what you're seeing when you walked in. You're like, what the hell?
That's cool.
But they're screens.
Yeah.
And then the ship starts to, then there's a captain in the front and nubs in the very beginning, in the very front, flying it. They take off. The thing moves, right? The door shuts. It
like
moves,
flight simulator level of movement.
And it takes off, right? It leaves,
awesome.
and you see out your windows, like it's leaving Batu. Mm-hmm. Like that's what the place is, and it takes off, and then as soon as it comes out of the atmosphere, it comes right into Star Destroyers. Star Destroyers put a tractor beam on, and you see Poe and a bunch of the X-Wings that are flying out with you. They start getting in a battle, and TIE fighters are shooting, and the thing is shaking and moving, and then it drops down. Right, it gets pulled in, right? It gets pulled into the tractor beam into a Star Destroyer. You land, and you see out the windows. There's a bunch of, like you're in a hull, right? So there's TIE fighters, there's stormtroopers, and then all of a sudden the door opens. And Disney cast member walks in and goes, "You're all prisoners of the First Order. Everybody out. Go to your right." And you walk out, and you're like, "Oh, we're inside." And then you see the outside of space, right? So this thing has to like go down and then shake you a bit and then come down again. And you're in a room that's probably 40 feet high that has all these TIE... Anyway, it's insane. And then from really there, cool. It's a breakout. That's a whole... I mean, it's the most immersive... Yeah. It's literally the most immersive ride.
That sounds like a great time.
It's the best ride at Disneyland right now.
Yeah. Dang.
So,
hence the line.
Anyway, we went on it 3 times.
So, after... Yeah, so
that's why it's a 100, 200-minute wait.
Yeah. Whoa. So the first day, so we did that, but we did a bunch of rides with my daughter, right? All the classics, right? Teacups and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. We did not do Peter Pan's because that one was very underwhelming when we did it in Disney World.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for her.
No, we did everything that she could do, but we did do Indiana Jones. Okay. And what we did, we took turns, right? So we had 3 adults. So we'd say, okay, hey, 2 of us are going to go on this ride. Somebody watches, Lucy, and we do that. And then she had a nap time during the day, so we were able to knock out a bunch of other things. But we ended up eating at like the Carnation, whatever the heck it's called, that night. Ate some chicken and whatnot. But we ended up staying that full night all the way until
nice vibes.
Yeah,
sitting out there looking over the lake, the lagoon, and
we stayed
the French Quarter.
We stayed for I don't know how long, the full day. Yeah. We stayed until it closed, but. I would say the whole night was really nice. Everything from the Disney castle to the little light show that they do on there, which was really cool. And I'm trying to think if there's any other major takeaways. It didn't get very cold that night. That was pretty nice. I think the weather was pretty great. Overall, that first day was good. The second day was our California Adventure Day.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to rain.
Yeah.
Didn't know how much rain it was going to be. Right? But I'm sure everybody in California knows how much rain they got. So we woke up to get to a character breakfast first thing in the morning, had to take an Uber, got to that, had the character breakfast thing. Then right after that, we started walking to California Adventure. We had to walk through downtown Disney. We got absolutely freaking soaked, dude. I can't even explain how wet we were.
I mean, like literally flooding going on.
It was like we had ponchos on, and the ponchos were like our whole arms with our jackets were absolutely soaked. My jeans were soaked, and the worst part of all,
your Sakis were soaked.
My Brooks Ghost 15s I was wearing, right? A very breathable shoe. Not great with anything remotely water, right?
Yeah, not the GTX.
Those shoes absorbed every last drop of water that was coming from the sky.
Yeah.
And by the time I had even just walked...
It was almost like they were made of 70-30 microfiber, like the Eagle blanket. Picked one up today.
By the time I even walked into California Adventure, it was already, every time I would walk, the squishy, the water was literally...
You're going to get trench foot.
And I was telling everybody, I said, we can't walk around like this because we're going to get blisters. Right? This is not good for us, right? So we walk into California Adventure. We start walking on the main place. We went into there's this place where Crush does like this kind of voiceover thing. And like, it's a little like a theater area.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we go into that to try to dry off and wait out some of this rain because it was so freaking crazy. 3 umbrellas, ponchos, everything. We couldn't stay dry.
Nope.
So we had to wrap my daughter's blanket in a trash bag because that's the only way she could stay warm. Yeah. Because it was like survival. It was like survival crap. But we made it out of there. The best idea I had was, hey, we need to buy more socks, right? So we went to one of the Disney stores there in California Adventure, and we're like,
you paid for Disney socks.
So I spent, I don't know, I think on 2 pairs of socks, $40, and my wife got a pair of socks for $20, and so crazy sock prices. But what we did was my wife had this great idea where we would put our new socks on, get the plastic bags we got from the gift shops over our feet, and then put them into our shoes.
Yeah.
It looks so stupid, but you know what? Feet were dry, and we're happy campers. Yep. So
Yeah, well, you were going to walk 15 miles that day. You got to do what you got to do.
You made plastic booties is what you made.
We spent that whole day in California Adventure, and I will say it's not my favorite place. It's really cool. They did a really good job with everything there.
But not a whole day's worth.
I think Cars Land was super cool.
Did you go on the Cars ride?
We went because Lucy couldn't go on it. We went on the little Mater, whatever it is
fun.
ride.
Little drift track.
That day it was a weird nap time during the middle of the day that day.
Yeah.
And we had to try to make whatever we could work, but also it started off weird. All the rain, the weather was still kind of cold and gloomy. The sun eventually came out, but it was just kind of a weird day because I feel like I'm at a boardwalk. Kind of, for half the thing. I don't really like boardwalks that much, if I'm honest. The amount of people, regardless of the weather, was absolutely insane. But I did go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Love that. It's a great way to check whether or not your sphincter and everything else works.
Yeah, your lower intestines are still in check.
It's what took over the old Tower of Terror then.
And overall, we did a ton of other different rides there, the Toy Story stuff, all the different fun stuff, and it was a good time. But I don't need California Adventure. I could go without that place, preferably, if I could. But Cars Land was still really cool.
Did you get anything from the Cozy Cone? Any snacks from there?
Yes, we did. Yep, we did. We got pop cone.
Yeah.
And we got churro cone or whatever you want to call it. We got a bunch of different things. But that day was pretty good. So then we finished off that day all the way into the very end, right? Yeah. We made it home at whatever time it was. And then the last day we went back to Disneyland. Got a really early start, and then my sister ended up meeting us because she was in Huntington Beach, or not Huntington Beach. She was in Oceanside, sorry, and so she drove from Oceanside to meet us, and we started. I think we started the day with another Pirates ride or something like that, and then we went straight to the Blue Bayou, checked in there, and then they got us in like 15 minutes. My sister met me, and so we had lunch there at the Blue Bayou. Perfect vibes. Nice. Food was insanely good. I've always wanted to eat there ever since I was a kid, right?
I ate at the one in Tokyo Disney.
But I did you? Because parents always say, "Oh, we can't eat there; it's too expensive," right? Because it is extremely expensive. But now I was like, "Dude, we're doing it. We're gonna freaking do this, and it's gonna be amazing.
Awesome. Just do it."
Yeah. So we did that, and then more rides that day. It was almost kind of like a repeat of our first day, which was a great day. Yeah. We hit the Matterhorn, and what I was actually most impressed by, my wife too, was the parade. I remember the parade being a sleep show, being like just a complete snore fest when I was a kid and hating it. But they made those parades really fun now. Like the music's really good. It's really a lot of high energy stuff. Yeah. And we checked that out. And then the entire time, this was what was the weirdest thing to me. Not only was there a ton of people that day on Friday, there was a freakish amount of people. I couldn't even believe the traffic jams we were getting caught up in. The stroller etiquette is strange there. Yeah. Because I guess it's just the trust system, right? Yeah. That you're going off of on the stroller stuff.
In terms of people leaving them places?
Yes.
Yeah, stroller parking. It's like parking lots for your cars, but they're just for strollers.
You just leave it, and you just hope that nobody steals anything.
I was going to say, unlike a car, all the valuables are very exposed. Yeah.
So all the stuff you've bought during the day, all the stuff you don't want to carry around, everything is in that stroller. And that's pretty stressful, right? But the stroller etiquette, apparently nobody steals, or maybe there's just not a whole lot of cases of that.
Because people know that Disney jail is a real thing that exists.
And then, so that was kind of a weird thing. And then also, if you park your stroller somewhere where it's not supposed to be, it will get moved.
Yeah,
I don't know who it gets moved by.
It's a stroller tow company.
I was going to say, some local tow company has a sign. And
dude, you
got to call this number, go down to the impound lot where all the other strollers are being kept.
You'll find your stroller somewhere else. Yeah. But here is the weird thing. Okay, so there's Disney adults, right? Mm-hmm. And there's different levels of Disney adults. There's different levels. There's people who are
You're like a very low-key version of
there's
one.
People who are just, as he puts his thing
I was going to say, he is a low-key Disney adult. He is not like the...
No, I'm a new Disney adult.
Okay. You're not an unhinged Disney adult, is what I'm getting at. You are still at the level where you have the capacity to think for yourself.
Okay, there are people
Dane,
who are adults who can appreciate Disney, right?
Yeah.
There are parents who go with their kids and love Disney because their kids are loving loving Disney.
Sure.
Or the fact that they want to kind of get some youth back and live vicariously through them. There's that, right? And then you have your Disney adults who maybe are like Carly, who maybe choose to go with their friends for a Disney trip because they just want to go to Disney, right?
Yeah.
Sure, whatever it is, right?
They love it. Then there's another level.
And then there's this level that I knew kind of existed, but I'd never seen it in person. There is a level where there is adults, functioning adults of society, right, who look like everyday normal people. You wouldn't think anything of it. Who go to Disneyland and are truly living. They are living this life that they are meeting
the Disney lifestyle.
They are meeting the actual people from the Disney movies, right? Yeah. So, for example, we were waiting in line to get a signature from Aurora or whatever it was, right? And I'm sitting there, a bunch of parents are, how long is this line going to be, right? The kids are excited. They got their books and stuff. Yeah. There's one guy I saw, right? He had one of those backpacks on that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. He had his Mickey ears, and he had, like, his notebook. And I go, dude, his wife's probably somewhere over there. His kid's probably running around or whatever it was. But I'm kind of looking at him. Like, he looks pretty normal, right? I heard him say something. Somebody came up and said, ask him a question. And he goes, oh, no, I got you. Yeah, no, I'm just here in line, right? Talks like a normal person. Yeah. And I go, well, maybe he is waiting for somebody, whatever it is. And then he walks up to the princess, and he goes, hi, Aurora. And she goes, hi, what's your name? He goes, my name is Mark. And she goes, hi, Mark, how's it going? And he goes, I loved you. I loved your work in the movie. And I just, you're so inspirational. And your story it's the one that matters most to me, right? And I'm sitting here watching this, guys, and I am like, holy crap. Yeah. What am I seeing right now, right? And
people not able to separate reality from fiction.
For what it's worth, man. The princess, she handles it perfectly.
Because it probably happens every day.
They're trained to handle it and not break character. Yeah. And she goes, I'm so glad you love my friends in the movie and all that. And he goes, you're just super inspirational, and can you sign this for me? And she goes, I would love to, blah, blah. She goes, Mark, right? And he goes, yep, it's Mark. It's Mark. Thank you so much, Aurora. Thank you so much. And I see him walk away. I look at my wife and I go, no freaking way. And she goes, Anthony, you're being very rude right now. And I go, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just, don't you think this is a little... I
have eyes and ears,
don't you think this is a little strange? And she's just like, hey, people are here to be happy, and the magic's going to happen, right? So
they're having fun.
This wasn't the first time I saw this, right? I continued noticing this behavior throughout the park, right? And I go, okay, we were in line to go on the what's it called? The carousel, right?
Yeah.
Two people in front of us. There was a grown man, right? Looked like a guy who probably does finance in some type of large company, standing there in a full Ratatouille themed outfit, right? Ratatouille ears, Ratatouille mini backpack, right? He's got a Ratatouille doll, and he's got a Ratatouille shirt on. And I go,
imagine if Patton came across that guy instead of you.
I go, I wonder if that's
the person to talk to right there.
Oh boy!
So I was looking at my wife. I go, I wonder if it's like the same.
Right. I loved your work in the movie.
I loved your work.
So I go, I wonder if it's like the same situation as before, Katie. I'm talking to her, and she goes, I don't know. That's probably his wife right out there. So because I see this other Ratatouille lady kind of dressed up out there, and she just walks away.
Yeah.
And I go, maybe not, right? And I go, well, is he maybe saving a spot on the carousel for somebody else, right? And so we're waiting, and you know what, guys? This man, dressed up in full Ratatouille stuff, jumps on that carousel by himself after waiting in line for 30 minutes or however long it was, and picks a spot, rides it on his own, and took pictures of himself on the carousel. And I'm like, what is going on right now?
As long,
I have to pee.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
As long as they are not hurting anyone else.
No.
Oh, whoops.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm not trying to like.
I'll give them a pass, but I will say, at a theme park type situation, your fight or flight response should not be triggered as often as it probably was by seeing these
It's just kind of one of those things where I go, as a parent, you just kind of get a little more like, okay, well, this is kind of strange. Like, I don't know. So I started asking Katie, I go, do you think this is like a trauma thing? Like, do you think this is like, what do you think the reasoning is for this? Because I'm genuinely curious on like a psychology, scale of like, how, what is this to some people, right? And so, anyways, we continue making it through the park, and I think the last instance that I'll just talk about was we were waiting to meet the princesses, right? So there's this, it's not a ride, but it's this, I don't know what it's called. You basically wait in line and you can meet like 3 princesses at one time.
It's like a meet and greet.
It's like a meet and greet, but you have to wait in line like it's a ride. So I'm waiting in line with my father-in-law, because my daughter's still sleeping. The second she wakes up, we're gonna bring her in and we're gonna have her meet the princesses, right?
She's sleeping while you're in line.
Yeah, she was. Okay. She was either just waking up out of a nap, and then there was also another little show going on that she was starting to watch. But anyways, we were holding the spot in line, and we were talking to this guy in front of us, right? And guy was, I don't know, kind of nice. I mean, he was just like, "Hey, where you guys from?" We're from here. He goes, "Oh, cool. I'm from Portland. Blah blah blah. Nice. Cool. What are you guys here for?" "Oh, we're here because my daughter's 2. It's her first time." And he goes, "Yeah, no, my wife loves Disney, and so does and we're trying to get my son into Disney." And I look over and I see his wife, who's got fairy wings on and whatever else, and but I see them holding this small boy, who's probably maybe 1 years old, right?
How old would you say these folks were?
Probably in their 30s.
Okay, so around our age.
So she's holding like this 1-year-old, and I kind of like, oh, that's cute. That's awesome that you guys are doing that for him. Hopefully he's kind of picking up at least on what's going on.
Sure.
And she goes, "Oh, absolutely." And I go, "Well, I think that he's gonna like meeting the princesses. Hopefully, get some good pictures." And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, that was kind of weird, but whatever, right?
Like a delayed response.
So we continue waiting in line, and I kid you not, man. We get to the first princess. I don't know who. I can't remember who it was. One of the princesses wears a blue dress. But we walk up, and
maybe the most famous one, Cinderella.
And I go, yeah, Cinderella. I go, maybe they're gonna bring the son up to go take some photos with him. As a 1-year-old, right? Nope. Dad just held the 1-year-old, right? Wife goes up and she goes, something like that. "Cinderella, I waited so long for this moment, blah, 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 blah. Will I be seeing you later tonight and in your whatever the heck the freaking carriage is called, whatever it is?" Yeah. And Cinderella goes, "Yes, you will see me there."
You remember, all these people are actors too, and they are playing a part.
So
these folks can talk to them like
yes.
that.
I know they are.
But it's the adults taking advantage of the situation to then do this, where there's some unresolved tensions.
I'm waiting for her to grab the son to take the picture, whatever it was. Nope. She goes, "Hey, let's take a portrait," or whatever they say. So now this woman, right, takes her picture of Cinderella, and I go, maybe the son didn't care about Cinderella. Maybe that's what it is, right? Nope, dude. Next princess, same thing. And I go, come on, this is strange.
But we met Mickey. We got photos of the 3 of us.
I understand.
Looking tough next to Mickey Mouse.
Not to make it weird, but it's a little different.
This is a little different. But
this is a little different.
But the 3 of you, if you were with your kids and Mickey, I see nothing wrong with that. If it was you and maybe Carly with Mickey, and sure, I guess that's okay, right? But the fact that this woman only wanted pictures of the princesses, waited in line for 40 minutes just to do this, and spoke to them as they were the real princesses, it was just a little... I mean, not little. It was pretty weird. And so, anyways, and so eventually, if you think I thought it was weird, my father-in-law,
he thought it was weird.
Floored, man. He was like,
What's happening?
Is there's all these questions, right? Anyways,
so Aaron is here to get rid of all your prejudice towards people who are
say
Disney
people are
adults.
enjoying themselves. That's all that matters.
The point is, people are going to enjoy themselves. Lots of people enjoy lots of things, but if it toes the line of becoming a restraining order, that is an area to probably
but you're not allowed to judge that. I'll just say this, Anthony, did you have fun at Disney?
I totally had fun.
Do you think you guys, when are you going to go back? That's the question.
I don't know. Probably maybe in a couple years, I think.
So, because Lucy is very little this time. Do you do you feel like she could have experienced more had she been a little older? Do you feel she got enough?
She needs another couple inches.
Yeah.
She needs to be 40 inches, apparently, because I think she's only 35 or whatever it is. So she needs a few more inches. But yeah, it was it was a fun time. I would say, all weird situations aside, I would say that the whole experience was really fun. She liked it. My wife really liked it. We had a really good time. The food was good. The churros were good. I don't think that there's anything that would prevent us from going again. I will say, in my opinion, I think Disney World's better than Disneyland. Because Disney World we did just 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Technically. So I have a really good recollection of Disney World and that time there. Love Disney World. I think Disney World is great.
Your
It seemed
sister was a tour guide too, who cut
She was
through
a tour
a
guide.
lot of what would otherwise be
What you
a
need
lot
to do
of
is
waiting
maybe
around.
have Alex come the next time when you guys do Disneyland, and have her show you how to navigate everything.
But I just genuinely felt like Disney World was not as busy, but I have no idea. It could have gotten
It's
busier.
a larger place. It's just more spread out.
Yeah. So no, I think that everybody was I think everybody was positive. Everybody was really happy.
No.
I think parents are really tired. I think that you have to have energy drinks or something like that to keep going. If you have a child that you have to carry, you probably need some type of muscle relaxer at the end of the day, or you need something
that was
like
the thing I was thankful
ibuprofen.
I didn't have to carry any children.
Okay. Yeah. That's a plus.
My children were ready to do it, and they did 45 miles with us.
Yeah.
Like over those 3 days, and they didn't complain. Well, they complained a little bit towards the end, but that was just because of the way she was walking.
They were motivated versus
They
a
were
walk in a
motivated.
normal setting.
Yeah.
So, I think it was a really good time. One thing you should never wait in line for is Autopia. Crap ride. Don't ever wait in line for that. That's the worst ride of the whole thing, and you'll wait forever for it. And so, probably the biggest takeaway, though, is that I love seeing my daughter's reaction to the princesses. Obviously, I loved eating the churros. I liked going on a few of the rides. I liked checking out the rides that have been updated, improved, all the different design stuff that goes into certain things of the worlds. And I also love the fact that there's certain rides that they haven't touched in like 30 years that you can, if you actually
There's a charm to it.
If you look over the edge at It's a Small World, you can see where they've missed sweeping for the past 15 years, and you can see the dust piles everywhere, which is also quite hilarious. But yeah, so we'll go again. I would prefer to go to Disney World, and I think that's probably what we would do next time we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Noted.
All right, Dane, take us home.
All right. So this has been a long one, but people had a lot to talk about. So I'm glad you watched it with us. Left comments below. And of course, if you want to leave comments after this video is over, feel free. Talk about what we discussed here in the podcast. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful week. We'll be gone, obviously, but Levi's here to take the helm. He's going to be running Q&A Thursday this week, so you can look forward to that. And, of course, if you haven't liked this video yet already, please do so before going today. And make sure you're subscribed to the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. That's pretty much it. So we'll probably do some lives while we're out on the road there, get some stuff like that out there. So just keep an eye on all the Rag Company channels. And otherwise, have a great week.
There we go.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.